Hello and welcome back in, everyone, to another One Piece collab. Today we have the lovely Zonin, another One Piece content creator. He talks about spoilers. He talks about spoilers for a lot of series, actually, so make sure to show him some love down below. He is all linked over there. And today we are here to talk about the latest chapter of One Piece and what it might potentially mean for the future of One Piece in general. And the topic I brought to us today is Pudding. We saw in the latest chapter that she is on board Blackbeard's ship. She has her third eye, loud and proud out there. And the real question comes in as to, is she awakened? And if she's not awakened, how do you think she will awaken?
So this is a great question. And I want to at first say no.
Yeah.
Because, there hasn't really been that much time since it was explored, right? Because it's been, I'm not even really sure. We'd have to correlate time that was in Wano and how much time was
Probably
spent the entire time. Yeah, it was at least a month, right? Since they left Whole Cake. So it wasn't much longer than that. We'll just say 2 months at the most.
Yeah, 2 months at the most.
Yeah, so that would mean that within 2 months she just awakened. You know what I mean?
It seems unlikely, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is something Oda wouldn't off-screen either. Which, at this point, because Blackbeard, he needs her to awaken. If he wants to read the Poneglyphs, or if he needs somebody to decipher them, he needs Pudding to awaken. And a lot of people are wondering how she is going to awaken. Will Blackbeard pull it out of her? Is there some requirement for that? And funny enough, in one of my latest videos, somebody left a comment saying, I think it was a joke, but they said, love is what will awaken Pudding's third eye. And I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, wait, that doesn't seem like a bad requirement. Because in a way, this would explain almost as to why Blackbeard would want Boa Hancock's love fruit. It could explain why Big Mom wanted Pudding to get married specifically to Sanji. And it's like, maybe love is how the third eye does awaken. And the more I think about it, the more it's like, okay, you're putting the pieces together and you're like, maybe Blackbeard has something to do with this. And maybe that's why he has her captive in the ship and not back in Hachinosu. Maybe he wants somebody to rescue her, and then she'll fall in love, and then boom, she will awaken. I'm not too sure. That's just a theory I've been thrown to, but I do like the idea. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, before we go further.
Yes.
Him getting Hancock's fruit, how would that correlate to Pudding's love?
So, with Hancock's fruit, it's the love fruit. And Boa kind of mentioned that the fruit won't exactly do the same based on who eats it.
Yeah.
So in a way, maybe by using the fruit on Pudding and making her fall in love or get infatuated, that might awaken a third eye or fulfill the requirements of love. It's just a theory that somebody's thrown my way. And I'm like, you know what? I'll nibble at it. And it doesn't seem that bad, honestly.
I just thought for a second that there was an ability of it that I was missing where the fruit made you more susceptible or made the person more susceptible to falling in love with you. And I was like,
because
Boa's missed that, but no, Boa's just really hot.
Yeah, Boa's hot and she turns people to stone, which doesn't super correlate to love, but
that is interesting though. It gives some semblance of a reasoning why he wants it, because I currently have no idea why he wants Hancock's fruit. Unless there's just some kind of secret to it that we're not aware of, or it was in front of our faces the whole time. But also going back to Pudding awakening her eye, I think also if she did, something would change. That signifies that she's awakened. And from this panel in 1064, she just looks the same aside from the band-aids on her.
Yeah, the band-aids, having the third eye out. She'd probably have a different iris in a way. Different pupils, something would change about her.
Also, another thing about the before we go into the next thing, another interesting thing about her band-aids is that Sabo has the same exact band-aid formation the last time we see him.
Yes,
at Lugia.
I saw that too. People put the panels side by side. They have the same two band-aids, and I'm like, were they hit in the same way? What happened here? Maybe this is what Aokiji did to them. And even then, just two very specific hits. Here you go, Pudding. And then maybe Aokiji ran into Sabo and gave him the same thing. But I feel like that's just Oda putting Band-Aids in a really good place. But there could also be deeper meaning behind it. But I mean, these two characters, Sabo and Pudding, they didn't run into anybody that could have done this to both of them, per se.
No.
Yeah.
And all right, I don't want to go into it because I talked about it in my last video, and I felt like maybe I talked too much about without giving enough context and facts to back up the stuff. But did you also see the other reasoning as to what could possibly mean for the Band-Aids?
No.
All right. It's I don't know. It could potentially. Everybody watching this video, I'm not saying that this confirms that Emu is Third Eye, like a part of the Third Eye tribe, because Emu was allegedly striking down Lelouch, and it was Sabo witnessing it, and now that she has the same thing as he does, that's in a way
like draw the connection.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not. I just wanted to put that out there. It's something. It's in the atmosphere now, so we'll just leave it there.
Yeah. We'll say it and we'll put it in the back burner just in case it actually does happen. And I mean, just not to touch on it too much, but I wouldn't be surprised if Emu was a third-eyed person, considering the fact that when we saw them, they had a helmet on and we only saw 2 eyes, and there's not any third-eyed people out there in the world right now that we know of other than Pudding. So we kind of need to boost up those numbers, right?
Exactly. Like, who did Big Mom even elope with?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, Big Mom and Emu if they're third eye. That's a good one.
Well, I mean, at least somebody. Just we haven't seen any other third eye users other than maybe Enel. That's why he always wears his do-rag. But we'll just leave it there.
I like that. All right, so the other two things I do want to discuss about Pudding is now that Pudding is here, and she's more than just an eye, right? Like we all like the eye, but she has personality behind it. She has a devil fruit behind that eye, and that devil fruit isn't a bad one. She has the memory fruit where she can manipulate, she can tear out, put in memories, and etc. And now that she has this fruit and Blackbeard has her, could he potentially force Pudding to use this devil fruit on people that we know of, such as Koby or even Law, perhaps? Because what if Pudding was like, hey, or what if Blackbeard was like, hey, Pudding, I want you to put in some memories into Law's head, make him perform the immortality surgery, maybe remove some things from Koby's memories and make him the 10th Titanic commander, or even have him work for us. And we don't really know the bounds of Pudding's devil fruit, because she can always expand it, she can always get better with it, and devil fruits are always changing in a way as they awaken. So Pudding could honestly just turn Koby or even Law into the 10th Titanic commander, which I know sounds a little bit wacky, but I just want to throw the theory out there that Pudding can change people's side in alliance.
So that's really interesting, actually. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
If not forcing her to do it, or just taking that fruit and giving it to somebody. I don't really think there's many candidates left. Pizarro, does he have a fruit? And
it is unconfirmed.
Yeah, so I mean, there's potentially other candidates that still could contain a fruit if they don't have one. But so the whole aspect of her inserting memories.
Yeah.
How far does that? I don't remember exactly how far it goes. Can she just like alter reality with it? Like just put in just made up stuff into your mind? Or does it have to be like something that happened and then she just reinserts it in there?
So I looked it up because I wanted to like re-clarify, because it's been a while since I've watched Whole Cake. But on the Wikia and a couple other forums as well, she can clip out or manipulate memories. So I feel like something akin to something has to happen for her to like twist it, right? Like maybe if you were to slip on a banana peel, maybe she manipulates your memory to where you actually walk past the banana peel and it never slipped with you.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's more like that. Not so much, not so crazy. So you've we've talked about it. You've read Bleach. You know about Bleach. I don't think her ability is like Tsukishima's, where he could just alter your entire past, and now you're just like you like think of him as like your best friend, and like he saved your life and everything. Because like if it can go that far, then she could totally just make Koby essentially brainwashed.
So the thing with manipulation is that that's one aspect of it, but she can also just tear out certain parts of your memory. So who's to say they just don't tear out all of somebody's memories, like Koby, for instance. And the reason I bring up Koby specifically is because him and Blackbeard have a really interesting dynamic. Because when we saw them on Amazon Lily, Blackbeard was turning to Koby for casual advice, like, hey, what do you say, hero Koby? Like, do you think that she's going to trust me? And even when you look at the panel where Blackbeard is holding Boa up, it kind of seems like Koby was helping Blackbeard take her down. And, you know, that could be because the Navy was never given orders to attack Blackbeard or Yonko, whereas they were actively there to take down Boa. It's kind of on the back burner as well, but they have that relationship. And the only thing really dividing them from being, I guess, friends is that Marine divide. So maybe Pudding goes in and takes out all those memories, and then they're like, hey, Koby, wake up. Like, you're one of us. Don't you remember? Like, how'd you forget this? And then that's when maybe Luffy runs into him or Helmeppo runs into him, and they're like, yo, Koby, what are you doing?
Man.
There's a lot of possibilities out there.
That would be really exciting. Like, just erase the last 3 years from his mind,
and it's not a lot.
It. No, it's really
3 years is not a lot of time to like erase.
No, like and then just replace it with him being in Blackbeard's crew, and now he's just like ride or die for Blackbeard, and he doesn't even know who Luffy is anymore, too.
No,
that would be heartbreaking.
He doesn't even remember his dream of becoming an admiral. He's actually just a commander or whoever he ends up being.
Wow. I mean, and also what you were saying, he does kind of have some kind of call it relationship with Koby, because they were at Rocky Port together.
Yeah.
And they did something.
Yeah, they helped each other out in taking down Wang Zi. Which, I mean, Wang Zi is an interesting one.
Yeah, the fact that he's alive, that like debunks that whole thing about him being one of Moria's corpses, along with John, Captain John. But yeah, maybe he like straight up fought side by side with Blackbeard and took down Wang Zi. And then he was like, oh, you know what? You're not such a bad kid.
Thank you, Koby. You're a good Marine. You're one of the good ones. And then the other one is Law, because we could technically manipulate his memories or even just take out parts of the memories on how to perform the immortality surgery. And what she can do with that is, you know, it's kind of out there, but she could give it to somebody else. She could make Law want to perform the immortality surgery. Like, her devil fruits in general are only limited to the wielder, right? Like, we saw a good example of this would be the clear fruit. Absalom had it, and it got kind of no diff by Sanji. And then now Shiryu has it, and we're looking at Shiryu, the Rain, and we're like, yo, this is probably like an endgame opponent for Zoro. And he has a clear fruit, which looked goofy when we first met it. And now it's like, okay, we have to like imagine ways where this fruit is actually really powerful. So who knows? Pudding could always expand upon her abilities, and what she can do with it is wild.
No, especially like when you're talking about it in this context, like mixing it with giving other people fruits, because Blackbeard obviously has this ability, give other people fruits, and then he could just take the memories of the previous user and then put it in. This is actually what we were talking about in the video, in my video that you're on, that we just made. You know, how would he get somebody to perform the perpetual use surgery on him in the scenario that Blackbeard takes Law's devil fruit? And you know, we were talking like, if he gives it to somebody else, then how would they know how to perform the surgery? But this clears that up. Like, he just you know, forces or whatever Pudding to take that memory and then put it into somebody else, and then they do it. But then maybe puts in another memory where they want to do it, if not already doing that to Law.
Because like, whoever does the surgery needs that medical knowledge, and nobody on Blackbeard's crew, minus maybe Doc Q, knows anything about medicine. So, you know, theoretically, you could take Law's memories and put it into somebody else and just turn them into a doctor. We don't really know the extent of it, because we've only seen Pudding use it like a handful of times, but every time she does use that devil fruit, it is really effective.
Yeah, it's almost a little too effective. Like,
it's kind of too broken.
No drawback to it. She just activates it and can just pull film reel out of your head.
It's like it's like one of those devil fruits that Oda has to keep in check in a way. It's like Lady Toki's devil fruit in Wano, where she could just travel to the future. And Oda's like, okay, we gotta kill her. We gotta get rid of her real quick. Like somebody throw an arrow her way. Like she's too broken.
We gotta kill her and never have her fruit surface again.
Yeah, it never surfaces.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking for it.
Yeah, nobody's looking for it. Nobody wants to know. Just forget about it.
It's gone. It's gone. Toki's fruit never existed. Well, thank you for sharing your opinions with me, man. And thank you to everybody who made it this far in the video as well. Zonin, do you want to shout yourself out one last time?
Yeah. Don't watch my videos. Just
oh my
watch
gosh.
Ty.
No, don't do it.
do this every time.
Well, with that being said, if you guys want to see more of my content, make sure to check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/zonin. That's where you'll find all my content going forward. And like I said, thank you guys for coming in. We'll catch you guys next time.